Oh my goodness. Good morning. How are you? It looks like Meg's ready to do her business right away. That's convenient. We're by a trash can. Let's get that taken care of. And then we'll get our walk going. A good girl. There's a branch there. Okay. Let's throw this away, Meg. Oh, you're all happy now, aren't you? No wonder you were whining. You were saying, Mommy, I waited long enough. Come on. Well, we didn't get our rain yesterday. It sure looked like it was going to rain. It was really humid. Humid, actually. Thought we'd see if we could find any more mesquite pods today. Did you catch our video making turtles yesterday? That was so fun. Well, actually painting them. It's kind of a two-step process. I need to put the neutralizer on it now, scrub it a little bit, and wash it off with some water, let them dry, and they're ready to go in our yard, which is pretty exciting. Really, really enjoy the turtle making project. I have a few things I need to get done today. Look over here. A few things I need to get done today. Oh, good morning. How are you? Thanks for joining us. Every once in a while, I would say about once every year or two, I repot my houseplants. And I have my houseplants a little different than I have in some places. If you've got too much dirt going in your house, oh, there's a bunny. Thank you for not chasing that. If you have too much dirt going in your house, it will attract fungus gnats. So I don't really have many plants in dirt. I have them more in like rocks and gravel. And then I just fertilize them. You know, dirt has nutrition for plants. Come on, let's go this way. Come on. Let's leave that rabbit alone. Oh, I see a big bumblebee on that mesquite tree. Let's go take a look. These things are so huge and they actually can move pretty fast. Let's see if I can get it. Is he in there? I'm not the best at zooming in on my camera while I'm out here in the sun. Well, I don't know if you caught him or not, but anyway, bees are cool, any kind of bees. Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I slept a little later. I was kind of sore from our gym yesterday, and so it took me a while to fall asleep. So it was nice to sleep in a bit. But we're getting out here and getting some exercise now. I think Mr. Painter's probably still sleeping. He might have woken up. Oh, here's some mesquites. I've got a collection of these going, and I want to get them before we get the next monsoon, right? If they have holes in them, you don't want to pick them. If you've had really heavy rain, you don't want to pick them. The reason for the holes is they could have weevils in them, right? And after really, really heavy rain, they can build up a type of mold that's an aflatoxin. Oops, wait a minute, Meg, let Mommy get it. She's not very patient. She's my 3-year-old, right? Actually 4. All right, let's try another tree. Okay, we'll walk some more. What a good girl. Hurry up, Mom. Beautiful sunshine. Yeah, we're about due for some rain. I'm waiting patiently. You have no choice. So yeah, I want to work on my houseplants a little bit today. I'd like to make another batch of keto nut and seed bread. We haven't done that for a while, and I really like that bread. It doesn't have any flour in it at all. I mean, you could add a little bit of flour if you wanted. Oops, I'm gonna have to get another bag. Apparently she wasn't done. Goodness, you were patient waiting for Mommy. All right, we're gonna have to go find a, oh, there's one right up ahead. Now we know why she was whimpering. 'Cause she was trying to get the bag. All right, let's go get a bag. No, you still gotta go. Boy, mommy didn't plan this very well. Mommy didn't plan this very well at all. Thank you. I hope you're having a relaxing morning. Or, oh, you are having a relaxing morning. It's off to a relaxing start here too. There's the rabbit. Oh, distraction, Meg. What's more important? Potty time or bunny time? We all have times for different things in our life, right? Okay. So yeah, I want to work on some house plants. I want to make some of our keto nut and seed bread. It doesn't have any gluten in it. It's very low in carbs for people that are worried about carbs. And actually, I like more the fact that it doesn't have any wheat flour. I don't worry so much about carbs anymore, but kind of trying to back off on things that have a lot of glyphosate in them, right? Unfortunately, with the harvesting methods nowadays, with farmers trying to produce more, they use the glyphosate to dry their crops. But seriously, try growing something and be sure to thank a farmer. Okay, let's go get a bag. Let's go get a bag. Try growing something and be sure to thank a farmer, because I tell you, it's hard. There's a lot of things trying to eat your food. She is fixed. She is a shelter dog. Yes. Let's get a bag. We're gonna have to get a bag and go back. Unfortunately, I was one bag shy for the day. And I need to start dehydrating some of those beautiful herbs that are growing in our garden. One of the herbs that we have growing that's done really well this year is mullein. And I'm still learning about mullein, but it's supposed to be good for lung ailments, gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. I like the idea of having medicinal herbs in case I need them. Prevention. You know, anybody that's ever had a lung ailment would know that sometimes it takes a while for a doctor to prescribe an antibiotic, right? Anybody that's ever had pneumonia, I've had it twice. Oh, really, your lungs are fine. And I'm not saying that this is a substitute for the medical system. Just, I like having stuff on hand to help myself if possible. All right, Meg, let's go find where you left it. Should have paid a little more attention. Got the bag. All right. Boy, am I getting the fail. Oh, I think I know where it's at. All right. Here we go. Here we go. All right, let's get this taken care of so we can resume our walk. So I have some cool medicinal herbs growing in the yard. And I'm thrilled that most of them are making it. The valerian is almost dead from this heat, but there's a little bit of green at the bottom. And what I noticed with some of the plants that didn't do well with the heat, they kind of died off on the top, and then they came back after it cooled off a bit. So I'm hopeful that that will be the case with the valerian. Valerian's a pretty cool plant as well. So let's see, what all do we have growing that's medicinal in our garden? We have feverfew, and I can guarantee that that works for at least headaches. It's kind of like a natural NSAID. I've tried that before in tea when I've had a bad headache, and it worked. We have yarrow. Yarrow's pretty interesting. And again, I am not a doctor. Let's be clear about that. Do your own research. Oh, this is interesting. This is the pomegranate tree that hangs over the wall. And theirs are pretty small this year, but they don't look horribly cracked. All of our pomegranates, well, not all of them. Oh, I do see some cracked ones. Not a good year for pomegranates, not just us. Okay, so we have yarrow, arnica. If you've ever bought a natural pain cream from a chiropractor, let me see if I can see any comments here. It's kind of hard, the light's so bright. If you've ever bought a natural cream from a chiropractor, they use arnica for pain treatment. So I thought that might be interesting. Hey, Not Arrow, thanks for joining us. Saw our koala short yesterday. What's a koalas, Ron? I'm not sure I know what that is. I'll have to think about the shorts I did. We have, what's it called? Okay, clary sage. If you ever buy an infused oil with clary sage, you'll know they're really expensive. And I think it's made mostly from the flowers, but the leaves actually smell pretty good too. And so I'm still learning about the uses for that. I put it in a hair serum that I make. I think it's good for your hair. We have a lot of culinary herbs as well. So herbs do good here. Apparently a lot of herbs like heat and dry weather. I'm not seeing too many mesquite pods on this side, but let's keep going. We're not quite through this area. I see some new ones that are green and some flowers on this tree. What is it? Thanks for watching, Ron. I think you get my #1 fan badge right now. You and Barb. Sometimes Emily. Thank you all. Appreciate your support. We are a new channel. We're growing. We've been around for about a year. I do a variety of things. I like some canning. Love canning, actually. It's kind of hot right now. Once in a while, I do some canning if I have to, but I'm trying not to overly heat the house right now. Boy. But, whoops, here's a mesquite pod. Let's see if I can reach it. So I do some canning, I do some sewing, I do some art, I do some gardening. If I can find anything to harvest, well, sure, I'm all about that. There's not that much here in the desert. Not like Alaska. Okay, just a second. Wait for Mama. I don't think there's too many more mesquite trees this direction, but let's just look. Oh, quail, that's what you meant. You saw my quail short. Okay, I get it. It's okay. Quails in my garden, birds. Thank you. Appreciate you watching that. Yeah, the quail actually came to me yesterday. That was so cool. I couldn't believe it. Now I sat down and then I stood up and then they were a little nervous, but they're pretty wild. But they're such cool birds. They just remind me of the chickens we had. We had 3 chickens for eggs in Alaska. And I would never recommend anybody do this because chickens are they put off a lot of dust. You wouldn't know it unless you ever had them. Birds are kind of that way. They put off a lot of feathers, a lot of dust. But in Alaska, where we were, it got so cold. If you had an outdoor coop, you would have to have a source of heat. And that's pretty tricky because a lot of times people get chickens too hot, right? And that'll kill them too. But so we had them in our garage. We had a big garage that stayed around 40, 45 degrees year round. And I was able to have a chicken coop in there. And so we had chickens that laid. And that was pretty nice. I do kind of miss those chickens. You also have to know that there's a lot of predators when you're trying to raise chickens. Foxes, owls, in Alaska, people's dogs, right? And here, there's all kinds of things, like owls, hawks, coyotes, bobcats, plenty of things that'll... Most of the time you don't have like dogs running loose here. Once in a while it happens. Most of the time you don't because there's too many things that'll eat your dogs too. Cats, right? But we also have like rules in this area that we live in. We're not allowed to have things like domestic chickens. So I get to enjoy the wild quail. I'm pretty lucky they actually come into our yard. I do miss having laying hens though. That was pretty awesome. Fresh eggs, right? They love the chickweed from the garden, and I would take their hay. I'd clean their pens out once a week, and I had hay in their pens, and I would bag that, and I'd let it sit in the sun all winter long, even though it was cold. And then I would use it in my gardens in the spring. And I did something called lasagna gardening. I would put the hay and chicken manure layer down, and then I would cover it with newspaper, and I'd plant through the newspaper, and that got rid of the weeds, right? And I learned about that technique from the Cooperative Extension Service there. So that was pretty cool. And I don't know, I wouldn't try that here because one, we don't have chickens, but also there's so many darn ants. I think if you had some kind of shelter like that, you'd end up with a whole bunch of ants, right? Ants love moisture. They love a place to hide. Right out. Thank you. I'm so glad you like our garden. I tell you, it is something that I really love a lot, and it's been very challenging, but it's rewarding when I succeed in growing something, and herbs definitely make it here. And the squash are all doing well right now too. We're just having to really watch for those darn squash bugs. Meg, no, Mommy doesn't want to go over the rocks. Come on. Nope, we're not going over there. Daddy will let you do that, Mommy doesn't. I'm not going over any boulders. But yeah, the squash bugs showed up, and my onions that I left and the garlic that I left are pretty much long gone at this point. I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't leave, oh, there's a mesquite pot. I didn't leave all of them, but I was hoping I left enough to repel some bugs. It lasted quite a while. All right, so Meg, don't pull Mommy. Okay, a couple more. I've got a big colander on the table, and I've got it filled with mesquite pods. At some point I'm going to dry those, and once they're really dry, we're going to make them into a flour. And the thing that I found that I like them in the best really is chocolate, like dark chocolate cookies, right? Just a healthy cookie type treat. They're pretty good that way. Mesquite is really nutritious. It's in the carob family, believe it or not. Mesquite really gives a lot, right? You get it for your barbecuing, and also makes the flour, those pods. Tastes pretty good in cookies. You'll see it used in energy bars. If you buy energy bars at the store, I don't really, but you'll definitely see it. I know our daughter used to like those when she was younger. I have mixed it in with our keto nut and seed bread a little bit, just supplementing some of my other things that I put in that recipe, but I don't do it too often. I really prefer just the keto nut and seed bread as is. It just tastes like a whole grain artisan bread with no flour, which is awesome. I mean, you kind of make your nuts and your seeds into the flour, and it's held together with the psyllium and the flax or chia. You can substitute chia for flax if you'd rather use chia. Works pretty great. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining us on our walks. We love our morning walks too. It'll be even better once it cools off a little more, right? It's pretty relaxing. I'm kind of avoiding the park area today because sometimes you have dogs loose in the park. The Saturday people. I know once in a while we let Meg loose if the only other dog out there is Reagan, right? We try to really control that. Plus, we never know. Oops, we had a whole bunch of dogs coming. Let's go up here. Come on, Meg. I know, that is exciting. That is exciting. Let's go up here. I know that girl has a time handling all those. I don't know if she's, oh good, she's turning. I don't know if she's like a professional dog walker or if she just has a lot of dogs. I tell you, one time I tried walking 2 dogs for a while. We had a friend with a dog that was staying with us. And oh my goodness, that was a workout. No, thank you. One's enough. Heaven forbid they go in a different direction, right? Or they all get excited about another dog at the same time. Yeah, that's for the young and the strong. All right, let's go this way, Meg. Come on. Let's go check this other area, see if we can find some more mesquite pods. Oh, are you into grounding also, Ron? Name a car for a edit. I'm not sure what that means. Name a car. Okay, Jaguar. Go. Yeah, barefoot is. Oh, you walk barefoot. Oh, okay, wow. You're really grounding. You're brave. You probably don't. Here, you wouldn't dare do that. You never know when you're gonna step on a cactus thorn. You never know. One time, our dog Rio, he was a Belgian Malinois. He's no longer with us. Unfortunately, dogs don't last long enough. But one time, he took off running, and he got a big cactus thorn in his foot. But he was a different dog. He was smart enough to know that that needed to come out, and he actually let my husband pull it out with pliers. This dog, we'd probably be going to a vet to have her tranquilized or anything like that. She's not letting nobody grab her, that's for sure. Yeah, I used to be a long distance runner. I don't know that my feet would have held up running. I've actually seen people run barefoot indoors, which I kind of thought would really put a lot of strain on your joint. I wonder if I knew that person today, I wonder how their feet are doing. But walking's probably not so bad. You don't have impact, right? Come on, leave that alone. No impact with walking. Walking is actually a great exercise. I should have done a little more walking, a little less running, right? Well, I hope y'all have a blessed day today. Appreciate you watching. Might get back to that sewing project. Kind of want to get those doll dresses done for that charity. It's in September. And September's right around the corner, right? Have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.